If this makeup don't look good on camera, I'ma be mad. Good morning, y'all. I am getting ready for work. I work from home, but I still do my makeup every day. I decided to just turn on the camera and do this impromptu little makeup tutorial. So I'm not gonna do too much talking, I think, but I'm gonna just talk you through what I'm using when I am doing my full face of makeup. So I haven't done my skincare yet. I just washed my face. So I'm gonna do my skincare before I do my makeup. And what I'm putting on for toner right now is this, I don't know what the brand is called. Oh, this is Huda Beauty. It's Cactus Water Toner. I like using this one in the morning. It has like a menthol type scent to it. Just swipe it all over my face and then move into my next step. After that, I like to put on a serum. So I'm using the Fenty Skin Fat Water Toner Serum. Just squeeze a little bit in my hand. Spread it all over my face. And then I'll get into all of my moisturizers. So for eye cream, if you watch my channel, you already know which one I'm using. I am using the Kiehl's Creamy Avocado Eye Treatment. Just dab it on my under eyes and then rub it in. I even like to put it on my eyelids too. I love this eye cream. Next up is my all over moisturizer, and I like a little bit of vitamin C in the morning. So I am using the Ole Henriksen Vitamin C Moisturizer. Just put that all over my face. Can't forget about my lips. So I use the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. Just put that on my lips because I am wearing a liquid lipstick today. So I like to make sure my lips are moisturized so I don't feel so dry during the day. I know this is a sleeping mask, but I use it as a lip balm because I don't really like this stuff. I'm just trying to get through it. My skin prep is all done. My skin is moisturized. So now for primer, I'm using the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. It's the blurring one. I like this one because it just evens out like my skin right here. I have like some larger pores, so I like to put it right there especially. And then in the center of my face, because it's actually pretty mattifying too. Oh, and also on my chin. So like the center of my face is really where I need it because that's where I get the oiliest and the greasiest. Next up is brows. So I'm using this brow pomade by Mented Beauty. I'm using the shade Black Brown. This stuff right here, I've been using it every single day and I really like this one. They actually sent this to me. They gifted this to me, which I was so excited because I finally made it to PR on at least one beauty brand. So I was so excited to receive it, but I actually really do like this one. I would never like tell y'all that this is good when it's not. So I'm continuing to use it and all I'm doing is brushing it into my brows. I'm brushing up and out and I like how it just fills in like all of the sparse areas of my brow without me having to like do so much work, because normally I use a brow pencil and this just makes it so much easier and faster. So see, I'm gonna lean in a little bit, see if you can see the difference between like this brow and this brow. I'm gonna get the other one and then I'm gonna clean up with concealer. Okay, brows are filled in. Now let's clean up with them. And for concealer, the one I've been like on for a while is this one by L'Oreal Palace. I keep saying Palace. It's L'Oreal Paris. It's the Infallible Full Wear Concealer. I use the shade Honey, which is number 415. And then just a little concealer brush. And I just take some off of the applicator and clean up around my brows. So just cleaning up, drawing a little line underneath to really just shape my brows. And I like that brow pomade because it makes my brows look a lot more like natural and not so drawn on. Eyebrows are outlined. Actually, let me just cover up the rest of my lids and powder them down. I like to even them out because my eyelids are a little dark. So I like to lighten them up before I put on any type of eye color. I'm gonna blend this out and then I'm gonna powder them down. For powder, I like to use my little powder puff. And for the setting powder, I'm using the Laura Mercier press powder. It's in the shade medium deep. And just use this and tap it over my lids. This helps to prevent creasing on my lids because I got some little wrinkly eyes. It just sets everything in place so that it lasts all day long. So for eyeshadow, I'm not really doing an eyeshadow. I'm just putting some bronzer on. I want a really simple look today. So for my bronzer, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills powder bronzer in the shade Mahogany. So this is what I'll use all over my face and as my eyeshadow today. So just spreading that over, or just on the lid really, because that medium deep powder is a little bit darker than what I would normally use, and I don't want the entire eye area to be so dark. So I'm just gonna keep this bronzer just towards like the lid part and then blend out around the edges. That looks good. So next I'm gonna move into some liner, and I'm using this one by e.l.f. It's their liquid liner, and I think the shade is just black. Y'all, I think this is like $3, $4, $5. One of my favorite liquid liners to use. I'm gonna be a little bit quiet because I suck at liner. So I'm gonna just start by drawing a line on the outside of my eye and then lining the rest of my eye to kind of fill in my wing. It's a little bit longer than I anticipated, but you know, it still look good. So the good thing about doing your eyes first is you can clean up your liner and make it look good and make it look pretty much perfect. So I'm going back into my concealer and putting it on my concealer brush, and I'm just gonna clean up around the liner. I'm gonna throw on a little bit of mascara and some lashes, and then I'm gonna get into the face. All right, so eyes are done, and yes, I do wear lashes when I work from home. I just feel like when I'm on camera, I just feel like having lashes on just makes it look so much better. I feel like I just look, I don't know. I just feel like I need them. So I wear lashes more often than I don't. All right, so now into the face. For foundation, I am using the NARS Soft Matte Foundation. I'm gonna use the shade Macao. I also have the shade Marquises, and I kind of go back and forth. Like some days I feel like Macao, some days I feel like Marquises. So today is a Macao kind of day. That's what I feel like. I'm just scraping the foundation off the sides of the bottle. For some reason, it's starting to leak, and I think the bottle is almost done, but I don't understand why the foundation is starting to leak. Like I have a bunch in the cap too. I don't know if it's because I'm not screwing it on, but I don't know. So I'm just gonna spread this all over my face and then even it out with my beauty sponge. With this foundation, you do have to work a little bit fast because it is self-setting. And it's a pretty matte product, which I like. I like for my face to be pretty matte. And I like the full coverage that it gives. When putting on foundation, don't forget your ears and the bottom of your chin. You don't want to look like a floating face. So just make sure you're bringing that foundation down just a little bit to help it blend in with your neck. All right, so next up is concealer, and still using the same one, the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Full Wear Concealer, shade Honey, and I just put a little bit right here in the corners because that's going to be more than enough to blend it all the way out. I already have concealer right here where I cleaned up my eyeliner, so I don't need to put another layer or an extra layer of concealer right there. So just right there under the eyes, of course a little bit on the forehead, and then I'm going to do down the center of my nose, some on my chin, and then some like right above my lip. And I'm gonna blend it out. I always blend my chin first. I don't really have a rhyme or a reason. except for I like to blend my under eyes last because I like for my concealer to sit for just a little bit before I blend it out. It really does help with the coverage and helps my concealer to not like spread so far and wide. So let me just get the center of my nose. I'm usually not that precise when it comes to my nose because I know I'm gonna go back in with bronzer and kind of shape out my nose a little bit. Blend out this little 5 head that I got. And then like just for like that edge where the foundation meets the concealer, I like to use the bottom of my blender and blend out those edges. So now I'm gonna get the under eyes. I'm trying not to spread it all down my face. I'm trying to keep it very close to just the under eye part. So just doing all of these little short tapping motions just to blend it out evenly and not bring it so far out. Well, maybe just a little bit, but I'm trying to keep the concealer concentrated right here, like immediately under my eye. I think that's enough, and then I'll use the bottom of my blender to blend out the edges. Yay, that looks really good. I don't want to use this Laura Mercier pressed powder, so let me find a different one. This pressed powder is a little bit too dark, and I want my under eyes to be a little bit bright. Okay, hold please. Okay, I'm back. I got a different shade of setting powder, so I'm using the Beauty Bakerie Flower Setting Powder. I'm going to use the shade Cassava, which is like a banana yellow type powder. This one is pretty light, but I really want a bright under eye today, especially since I'm doing like a darker eyeshadow shade. So I want to be a little bit bright. But before I place this powder down, I need to blend out these under eyes just a little bit to get rid of any creasing that I have. I'm using my little triangle sponge, dipping it in. I like to rub a little bit of the excess off because I don't want it to be too heavy. I'm really not trying to bake. I'm just trying to press the powder into that concealer to really set it in place so that it doesn't move throughout the day. Okay, you can see that powder is very light, but we're gonna make it work. It's gonna go away. Just hang with me. Blend out this other side really quick. And then add powder to this eye as well. Get down the center of my nose and my forehead. This is actually where I get like the oiliest and the greasiest, so I try to combat that oil just a little bit by adding this powder here. It kind of helps to suck up the oil at least for a good 6, 7, 8 hours before I start to get really greasy. So now using the excess powder that I have on my hands, I'm just gonna use this triangle sponge to lightly powder the rest of my face down before I put my bronzer on, because I feel like whenever I put bronzer on directly on top of foundation, it gets a little muddy. So I like to set down my foundation first before I put my bronzer on. I'm gonna take the triangle sponge and just go over the places that I already powdered, just to try and suck up all of that excess powder so it doesn't look so light. But if it's still light, don't worry about it, because once you put your setting spray on, it'll go away. Now on to bronzer, using the same bronzer that I used on my eyes. I'm using my little e.l.f. powder brush. So I'm dipping into this bronzer. Be careful, because this one is very pigmented. You don't need too much of it. So putting on my bronzer, I like to just lightly tap it where I want it, all over my face. And then I'll shake off the brush and then go back and kind of blend it a little bit more. So right now, just tap, tap, tapping. Just adding that color back to my face, and now I'm gonna blend. So I'm not going back and forth, but I'm more like doing this kind of tapping, stippling kind of motion just to blend it into where I want it. Sometimes I be forgetting about this bronzer, y'all. I have so many of them, and sometimes she ends up in the back of the drawer, and then I remember her, and then I fall back in love with her again. This is one of my favorite bronzers to use. Also like to bronze just a little bit under my chin too. I don't know why. I've seen other makeup artists do it, so I do it too. Going back to the eyeshadow brush that I use with the bronzer, I'm gonna put some on my nose. I gotta be very light with this because I'm not trying to look super crazy with it. So just adding just a light shade of bronzer just to give me a little definition so you guys can see my nose on my face. And now I'm gonna bring it up and bring it really into like the beginning of my brows. And like right here in this area underneath. I feel like some blush today, so I'm gonna be using my Fenty, what is it called? Cheeks Out Cream Blush, and I'm using the shade Summertime. Yeah, Summertime Wine. So it's like this little berry shade. Very natural looking shade for brown girls, and I'm just using my beauty blender, using the butt of it, and then tap it where I want it. So I like to put it kind of close to like the edge of my eyes and bring it down just a little bit to my cheeks. I really don't put it on the full like apple of my cheek because I don't want to look like a clown. I just want to add just a little color right there. And so now let's get into the lips, but let me wipe off this Laneige because my lip or my liquid lipstick won't stick. For lips today, I'm feeling very pink, so I'm gonna be using this one here. It's by the Unicorn Gang. The name of the shade is Millennial Pink. It is such a beautiful pink. It's like a very kind of like dark blue tone, hot pink kind of color. I'm feeling a little bold today. It smells good too. And I'll just put this all over my lips, and then we'll put on some setting spray. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry down. And now I need some setting spray. Guess I'll use this one since it's sitting here. So for setting spray, I'm using the Mented Better Setter Setting Spray. And just spray this all over my face. I love setting spray. Ooh. I love setting spray. It's my favorite part because it signals that I am done with my face. So now I just gotta like run the flat iron through my hair a little bit and I will be right back. Actually, I figured why not just continue my full get ready with me and do this on camera. So I'm gonna bump the ends of my little silk press. So I normally wear my hair in protective style, so like crochet braids, regular braids, weaves, and this is like the first time I didn't have my natural hair out in like maybe 2 years. So I got my little silk press on. I'm 4 days in, and I think this is probably gonna be the last day because I can feel it poofing up back here, but I did a lot better than I really expected to. So I may just put like a little ponytail on after today because I really don't like putting heat on my natural hair. And I've been kind of flat ironing my hair every day since I've had this silk press going on. It's not so silky anymore. It's a press, but it ain't silky. So I'm gonna bump these ends right here and then maybe kind of curl me a bang. Oh no. Kind of flat. Let's see. There we go. Just a little oof on that side. And where's my comb? Here we go. Get this side. That's it. Just a little oof. And then I'm gonna just comb this behind my ears. I need to get some edge control because they looking a little rough. All right, and now for the bangs, I'm trying to figure it out. I really want them to be kind of towards the front like this. Ooh, my uncle texted me. Hang on. This little curl right here remind me of like the first day of school and my mama used to bump my little curls. Let me see if I can do something with it. Maybe just turn it to the side. That's gonna have to do for today, because this is the last day I'm wearing this little press, because it's working though. It is working. I like it. All right, y'all, so that is it for my wake up makeup. Get ready with me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give me a huge thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This is the kind of content I'm bringing you every single week. Also, hit those notification bells so you're notified every time I upload a new video. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.